All right, so the Bills' offense looks noticeably different this year. I think we all became accustomed to gunslinger Josh Allen, who reminded us a lot of Brett Favre. The Bills' offense looked very much like a home run hitter in comparison to a 300 average hitter. A lot of deep throws, a lot of risks, an all or nothing, live by the sword, die by the sword, no risk it, no biscuit type offense, which is great. It can be electrifying when you're watching Josh Allen complete these 50-yard touchdown passes, showing off his rocket of an arm and bulldozing, trucking people over. However, the Bills' offense has become more structured and more buttoned up. And you're not seeing as much of that, home run derby, gunslinger type mentality on the Bills' offense. It's more about efficiency, minimizing error, and maximizing production. Most importantly, red zone efficiency. This has had a very positive impact on the Bills' offense. This change started to take place when the Bills made the change from Ken Dorsey to Joe Brady at offensive coordinator towards the middle of last season in 2023. Under Ken Dorsey, the Bills had that gunslinger look, that no risk it, no biscuit type offense. And it was electrifying. It was galvanizing. We all flocked to our TV screens to watch it. I mean, Josh Allen was like a walking highlight reel each and every week. However, you saw a shift in the Bills last year when they switched to a more simplified type offense. More simplified, but more intentional and more efficient. Most importantly, the key word here, a more complementary style of offense, balancing the pass and the run. It has worked wonders on this team. If you recall, the Bills were flirting with 500 as late as November in 2023. And there was even one point in that season where the Dolphins had a 3-game lead on the Bills for the AFC East, and the Bills had an 8% chance to make the playoffs. However, when the Bills shifted to Joe Brady's more simplified, complementary style of offense, they started to gain momentum and really buy into what they're doing more because they're more efficient. The Bills turned that season around, and they finished 11-6 in 2023, went the divisional rounds against the Chiefs, and they almost won that game. They almost won. The Chiefs, of course, like they always do, they pulled it off in the end. But you could see the Bills gain momentum and find a real identity on offense instead of just being kind of reckless. Like when the Bills had that gunslinger identity on offense, yes, there's a lot of passing yards, a lot of passing touchdowns, but there's a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes as well. Here's some of Josh Allen's stats throughout the years before 2024. 2023, 29 touchdowns, which is great, but 18 interceptions. 2022, 14 interceptions. 2021, 15 interceptions. That's a lot to be throwing, especially when you're expected to be an elite quarterback. That's a lot of interceptions to be throwing. And when you're throwing that many interceptions in a year, chances are more likely than not, you're putting your team in perilous situations and putting your team in situations where they're losing games instead of winning games. Sometimes it's those interceptions that can be the difference between a win or a loss. Those key turnovers. You've got to win the turnover battle. The Bills have been great with that in 2024. Protecting the ball, holding on to the ball, not giving it to the other team. And for that reason, they've just simply won more games. Like I said, the Bills were 11-6 in 2023, which is great, enough to win the AFC East, enough to go to the AFC Divisional. But the Bills want more than that. They were 13-4 this year. 2-game improvement. Locked up the AFC East in late November, early December. It was it was pretty quick and painless for the Bills to lock up the AFC East this year. There's not really much competition. Most importantly, Josh Allen's efficiency. 28 touchdown passes, so he's had over 30 in the past in 2022 and 2021. So maybe less touchdowns this year in comparison to what he's done in the past, but 6 interceptions this year, which is the lowest in his career. Incredible. Incredible, the efficiency of this Bills offense now compared to what's been in the past. And it may not be as flashy, but it gets the job done where the Bills want to, and it's more detailed. That's what you need if you want to compete for a Super Bowl, and that's the standard. The standard for the Bills now. I mean, Bills fans are not satisfied with divisional and AFC Championship appearances. They want a Super Bowl appearance, and they want to win, because that's a Super Bowl win. Because the Bills fans have struggled long enough, and they know they have this window here. It's time to capture what they have while this window is open. There's another key stat that I want to surface here called player share on offense, wide receivers, tight ends. What player share is the percentage of targets that each wide receiver or tight end receives from the quarterback. This is Josh Allen's first year since 2019 without Stephon Diggs. He was his go-to guy for a very long time. Yes, he's loved Dalton Kincaid. Yes, he loved Gabe Davis some games. Yes, he loves Dawson Knox some games. But more often than not, in 2021, 2022, and parts of 2023, he was looking for number 14 all the time. And that can be dangerous for a young quarterback sometimes, because when you've got that star receiver, you're locking into him. You're always trying to feed the ball to him because he's Mr. Reliable. But smart defenses are going to adapt to that and shut him down. Double cover him. Scheme it up correctly. You're going to hit a brick wall eventually when you're trying to lock into one guy, and you will generate turnovers. So this player share statistic is going to illustrate the percentage of targets that each wide receiver got with Stephon Diggs and without Stephon Diggs. 2023, Stephon Diggs, of course, led the team in player share with 27.6% of Josh Allen's throws, Josh Allen's targets. Second best was Dalton Kincaid at 15.7%. That's an over 12% difference from number 1 to number 2. And then Gabe Davis at 3 with 14% of Josh Allen's targets. That statistic really illustrates that Josh Allen was trying to feed the ball to Stephon Diggs. And after a while, from a passing standpoint, it becomes kind of one-dimensional. You know more often than not where he's going with the ball. It becomes predictable, and you can slow him down for that reason. In 2024, Khalil Shakir led the Bills with 19.3% of player share. Next up was Dalton Kincaid with 17.3%, and then Keon Coleman with 10.5%. There's an obvious two favorites that Josh Allen still has. Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. He has great chemistry, great rapport with both of those guys. But you don't have a player's share of over 25%, which is not only high, but alarming and predictable. 19, 17, 10. That's more reasonable. He's spreading the wealth more. And for that reason, the Bills' offense is not as predictable, and it's more efficient. I also want to note that Josh Allen had almost 600 more passing yards in 2023 than 2024, but yet he was more efficient this year. So it's not about racking up yards. It's not about racking up touchdowns. It's kind of like baseball. People focus on home runs, which is great. It's a great stat. Like, it's awesome to see Aaron Judge hit 62. I want to see batting averages. I want to see on-base percentage. And this has been more of a high batting average, high on-base percentage Bills team than a home run hitting Bills team, to make that baseball analogy. And James Cook has been a huge part of the recipe here. 4.9 yards per carry in 2024, 16 touchdowns. He was a 1,000-yard rusher, just broke with 1,009 yards, but he's been great. My boy, Ray Davis, an absolute dog, was great this year, too, for the Bills. And Josh Allen has a good little crew when it comes to his wide receiving core this year. Loves him some Khalil Shakir, loves him some Dalton Kincaid, loves him some Keon Coleman. He's got some good, reliable guys out there that he trusts. No, it's not as flashy. No, it's not as electrifying. It's not like watching Brett Favre out there anymore with Josh Allen. But it's more precise. It's more detail-oriented. It's more buttoned up. That Bills offense is more structured. It's more efficient. And for that reason, I think that not only the Bills offense, but the Bills team looks the best that it has in years. The best under Josh Allen that I've ever seen it. And I think that for that reason, they have their best shot at competing for and winning a Super Bowl that they've had ever in the Josh Allen, Sean McDermott era. Let me know what you think of this take in the comments section below. Have a great day.